Thanks everybody for joining today. This is a webinar on augmented operational insights, aka business process mining. My colleague and myself are from Europe, Madrid and Paris respectively. So as you may understand, the particular context we are setting in Europe. If you hear kids crying or yelling, don't be scared, it's probably ours. All what we ask for is to stay home and stay safe. We both work for TIBCO Software for the Office of the CTO, and we are running a program called TIBCO Labs since a couple of years now. And there are a number of projects we have delivered so far, always in conjunction with customers, to have a new, if not innovative approach for a given business problem. So it goes from IoT to blockchain, from data science, like the AutoML for data science typically, to cloud native application framework like the cloud starters that empower you to build quickly native cloud applications. And there's a particular project that we are going to highlight today, which is the product Discover, which is precisely for business process discovery and insight to action against the finding. And Manuel will first introduce you the basic concept behind process mining, and then I will drive you through this particular project. Finally, Manuel will demo this to us all. Manuel.
So when we talk about digitalizing processes, we normally think about automating those processes rather than re-engineering them. In order to understand company processes, there are two ways of getting these processes. First, manually, which requires time and effort, doing interviews from different people, drawing those processes and so on, or automatically discover the reality from the data using techniques such as process mining. This reality will allow us to answer questions such as, are we compliant? Are we fast enough? Can we predict? Where and who are the bottlenecks in our processes? So we have a customer that came to us with one problem where their customer were complaining about their response time, the SLAs, and the company was saying, no, our SLAs are all correct. They gave us their data, we put it in the system, and we clearly identify where the bottleneck was. That's one clear use case for process discover, which is how we call process mining in TIBCO. And the customer, by the way, was right. The problem was a third party that they were using in the system. Okay. So first, we would like to introduce you a few concepts about what is process mining and what are the terms that we use. You can see them at the bottom. Process is the process that we are talking about. Is there a credit card, either related with mortgages, a procure to pay, whatever process you might think from your company. Variants are the different paths that these processes execute. For a process, there might be different variants, as many as you might think of, even that you might not be aware of all of them. Third, cases. Cases are the different executions from those processes. And finally, activities. Activities are the different components that take part on the processes, like either send a document, do a manual interaction with the process, submit a new document, or interact with a third-party system. Those are the activities. These four components or terms are really basic in process mining. They will allow us just to draw the processes and understand more the reality in our processes. So when we talk about process mining, we might think that it might go to a specific area, but as you can see here, it's quite horizontal. It can take from performance bottlenecks, as we mentioned before, compliance, whether my processes are all compliance with what we have defined, whether I'm just going through a path that is not allowed. For example, once I receive a purchase order, do I ship it before it getting approved? For example, that wouldn't be compliance. From prediction, learning from the historical cases and anticipate problems that we might foresee in our processes, and also balance resources in case that they are overwhelmed. As you can see, from logistic, bank, telco, life science, anything that you might think of as retail as well.
So the project Discover is a fully customizable solution, okay, that helps to discover, identify, improve or even predict process behaviors, okay, and based from the event log. So it's a bottom to top approach compared to the BPM or that kind of things. It's templated because we want customers to be able to take it and extend it. And those logs are diverse by nature or by formats, which sometimes represent a challenge by itself. So how does that work? We wanted something easy and simple to use for a business, from a business user perspective, and to be able in a few clicks to drive him where the problems are. Okay, so basically selecting a business process, collect those event logs, whether they come from a database, a file, a web services, a data lake, or MDM solutions available on the market, to reconstruct and visualize those processes. Okay, as you can see here on the right. Identify where are the problems from a performance point of view or from a duration point of view, and how you can implement those improvements. And of course, more importantly, the ability to have a continuous monitoring of those events in the future once you are happy with the model that you did select or the way you want those processes to behave. So it relies on a number of capabilities. These capabilities are the following. So the ability to have an extensive connectivity, the ability to extract those event log data in many ways. For that, we rely on a data virtualization product called TIBCO data virtualization. It also helps for data preparation. So in case you have some data wrangling from various source to consolidate into or unify this into a single source. Or if you need to change or reformat those events in a way that is going to be understood by a human. Of course, compute the process and execute the process mining algorithm on top of those events to reconstruct those various variants and the path those case could take. More importantly, the ability to visualize them and export the data into a very intuitive way. And because TIBCO is pretty advanced and has a large offering when it comes to data science, the ability to combine AI or ML models in order to have a better predictability on the future event that will come and follow the same models, we can rely on, it's one part of our solution. Not only, we also have a case management for raising, tracking, and even automating some of those events or problems that you could find on top of process mining. So we have a number of unique differentiators. First, it's an open architecture. It's based on the connected intelligence platform from TIBCO, so TIBCO Cloud. It's extensible. It's an extensible template. You have access to the code, to the process mining algorithm, to the way the UI is being designed, so it can be customized to anything that fits your enterprise environment. We have an extensive data access and preparation mechanism through our data virtualization system. So any kind of data, we are more than 180 connectors, but it's even more than that today. And of course, finally, because we rely on our award-winning analytical solution called Spotfire, we have a point-and-click analytics that helps you to correlate those business data and those predictive models. And before we go to a quick demo, probably Manuel, can you resume and summarize this quickly for us?
Yeah, so as a takeaway, we would like you to highlight three topics. So we build a data-driven list of what and where inefficiency lies in your business processes. Second, it applies to any industry. It is completely horizontal as we saw different industries as use cases. And third, from the business value, it covers efficiency, cost, compliance, and customer services. So let's move to a demo. What you see here is the project Discover, or the Discover app, where we have first a dashboard where you see an overview of all the cases that you have. In this case, we have around 72,000 events, but we can have as many as needed, even to millions. We have almost 5,000 cases with 49 variants for the same process. And the median duration is around 66 days and 73 days for the average duration. So when we move to variant analysis, we can see the variant from different perspectives. Oops, sorry. So we can see the variant from different perspectives. I was saying, we can see once we highlight the cases based on the frequency, in this case, not percentage of cases, duration at the bottom, we draw the process map where we can see on red which activities are taking more time. Then we can see compliance. The red are activities that were not compliance. And then we can see as well what is the usage and the relation between the different persons that takes part on the process. Also, the last part, we were able to escalate processes and just highlight for doing the case management part, improvement or compliance for the process. As you can see here, we have a unique platform from doing the analysis for the process and also the follow-up for whatever we highlight in that discover phase that we have. Okay. So also, we would like to highlight that we are also taking part on the Open Source Community Day on April 30th. So we will do it 2 different demos, one about Project Cloud Starter done by my colleague Hugo Peters, and another one about Cloud Starters in the context of IoT done by my colleague Marcelo.
Thank you. So before we conclude, a bunch of links and resources that you might get interested in. So this is all our website or endpoint where you can actually reach us. If you did find the demo was quick, we are sorry for that. It's the way those webinars are being set up. But my colleague and myself would be more than happy to do an in-depth demo with you or with the customers and explain how we can go further all together. So thank you all. And I think from there, I'm going to hand back the mic to Erin.
Perfect. Thank you, Manuel and Florent. If anyone has any questions, please send them via the chat. Great. We have our first question. How customizable is this solution?
So again, this solution is fully customizable. It comes with different parts. So if we talk about the UI itself, you can re-engineer the whole interactions you have with this UI and the one you interact with the business user and the backend system. So where actually the process mining is being done. If you want to go further on the AI ML part or even the visualization part, you can customize the dashboard that is being set up is being linked to you as a template. So you can add your own data or maybe join and merge with different data sets from Salesforce, from SAP, whatever. You can also, if you have the right knowledge and people for that, you could even customize the process mining algorithm that we use in the backend to compute those process graphs. So it's really fully customizable. It's an open box. And you get access to the code basically. So there's no more open than that.
Perfect, thank you. There looks like there's no more questions. So we'd like to thank everyone for attending today's virtual meetup. And please remember to visit TIBCO.com and the TIBCO Labs GitHub for additional information. Thank you.
Thank you.